At Sourced, we want to keep you up to date with every change that comes to the property sector. And with that, in mind, here's a quick walkthrough of the key changes from the autumn statement that affects landlords and property investors. First of all, halving of capital gains tax annual exemption. So this is going from £12,300 down to £6,000. Secondly, stamp duty cuts that were announced in September will end on the 31st of March 2025. The threshold at which higher earners start to pay the 45p rate of tax will be reduced from £150,000 to £125,140. Corporation tax main rate on profits over £250,000 will increase to 25% from April 2023, with a sliding scale from 19% to 25% for lower profits, starting to increase above £50,000. Dividend allowance will be reduced from £2,000 to only £1,000 next year, and then a further decrease to £500 from April 2024. Inheritance tax thresholds are frozen for an extra 2 years, making hundreds of thousands of homeowners liable for inheritance tax. Local authorities can raise council tax by 5% without holding a referendum. Essentially, across the board, everyone is going to have to pay more tax. And that's exactly what we were expecting. So there have been no big surprises in this autumn statement. And that's exactly the tone that Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt have struck. After the turmoil of Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng, we now have a much more predictable, pragmatic and considered approach. The downfall of the Truss government was catalysed by the reaction of the markets to her economic plans. Today, the day after the autumn statement, the pound is up against the dollar, and it's also up against the euro, and the FTSE is climbing, stronger today than it was yesterday. Overall, a really good reaction from the markets. The predictions made concerning the property market alone since the autumn statement are looking that around a 9% dip will happen to properties over the next 2 years. This will continue to trigger lenders to de-risk their loans, which will mean that fewer buyers are in the market and more property opportunities are in the market for those people that have access to funding. Just like Source franchisees, who can still borrow up to 70% of the GDV of a project from Source Capital. From your point of view, however, there has never been a more important time to make sure the amount of tax that you're paying is the right amount of tax that you're paying. We at Sourced have a tax and accounting course that we run for our network of franchisees to help them compliantly minimise their tax position. To find out more about our network and the many benefits that enable them to hit their property targets, follow the link in the description below.